So when I tuned into the other side to channel my next YouTube video, the divine came forward and said, Christine, take a memo. I have a message for the US government. And one of the things the divine is saying is that he plans to replace it because he is not currently happy with the free will decisions that the American people are being presented with right now. So this is what's going on. We have the Democrats over here and the Republicans over here, and they are both controlled by the interests of wealthy donors. And, you know, most people just write it off as like, oh, it's fair in politics, huh? That's the way it goes, right? Money talks. And it's like, you know, politics, everything's political. How do I look? How does this, you know, come across? How does that come across? Oh, public opinion, public opinion, public opinion. Whereas the divine feels that authenticity is the most important, being real, honest, aligned with truth, and being concerned about the welfare of the American people. He doesn't feel like either party is aligned with truth, how the universe is set up, concerned about the American people, etc. He feels that both parties are incredibly corrupt. So he considers the Democrats to be associated with the dark and the Republicans associated with the dark. So watching them battle each other, they're actually pretty well matched. So they keep slinging mud at one another, and they're actually pretty well matched because it's dark versus dark. So no one party is just overtaking the other like crazy. They're just like battling it out and duking it out. So the problem is the divine looks at this situation. It's considered like lesser of two evils politics. And he sees the American people here having to make a choice. Well, you know, which party should I support? You know, what resonates with my beliefs, attitudes, opinions, whatever. So the American people are looking at their options and they're thinking, wow, you know, well, I guess I'll choose one of them because those are my choices. Well, the problem is human free will is not based on a choice of dark versus dark. There's not a demon on this shoulder and a demon on this shoulder. There's a demon on this shoulder and an angel on this shoulder. And in between is your head, which is your free will. Which way is it going to tilt? So a free will decision and soul's growth is based on choices of light versus dark. That's how the universe works. So that's why the divine is calling time out and one big foul, saying this isn't representative of human free will. This isn't how the universe is set up. So he's looking at the US government and saying, where's the light? Well, it's not there. He doesn't think either party has the light. Now there's, you know, people who are associated with truth within these parties, but who cares? They've shackled themselves to a negative entity. Let's take Bernie Sanders, for example. The divine is interested in Bernie Sanders breaking up with his abusive girlfriend, also known as the Democratic Party. I mean, let's face it, the DNC totally screwed him in the primaries, so Bernie Sanders is being asked to demonstrate self-love and split off from that energy because Bernie Sanders is light and this energy is dark, so he doesn't belong in the Democratic Party. So that's why the divine is asking Bernie Sanders to break up with his abusive girlfriend and lead a third option, which would be considered light, also known as the People's Party. Now, the People's Party would be obviously in the best interest of the people, and it would also be aligned with the truth and the light. Now, God is a socialist, because that's the way the universe is set up. We are all one big collective consciousness. Whether you want to be connected or not, you are. So that's why God is a socialist, because it's in alignment with how the universe is actually set up. Our souls are connected. We're all sparks of the divine. Your higher self and my higher self kick it together on the weekends. So just wanted to let you know that we're all connected, whether you want to be or not. But I also don't want people to picture socialism in a negative connotation, meaning we're just a bunch of sheep with no thoughts, ideas, or opinions of our own. That's not true, because the divine preserves and protects human free will in a major, major way. So we all have our own thoughts, ideas, and opinions. We are all individuals within this collective consciousness. We have the power of choice, which is why the divine is working hard behind the scenes to preserve our power of choice and make sure our choices are properly presented to us, I guess, as of course, according to universal law and how things work and how soul's growth works. But it's almost like the dark wants you to think, that you like have these, choices or whatever, when you really don't. It's like a catch-22, like damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of situation. So that's why the divine has to intervene, and the People's Party actually rises up and overtakes all of it. So the divine is actually going to replace our broken system. He's not planning on changing them. He's planning on replacing them with a third party option. Now, I can understand that based on history, you can think that I'm totally smoking dope, but the reason this third party option prevails is because it has the support of the divine behind it. It has universal energies support behind it, law of attraction, power manifestation, and karma. So that makes the People's Party one big powerhouse for financial abundance, love. You ask for something, it shows up. You reach for something, it's there. Power. So what would make the People's Party even more powerful? Well, if Bernie Sanders led it, because Bernie Sanders would not only be aligned with truth as a democratic socialist, but Bernie Sanders' own personal truth. So it's like winning the cherries on the Pac-Man screen. Bernie Sanders' personal truth is that his life purpose is to be president, and he's also predestined. So you just won the teddy bear at the carnival. Congratulations. Bernie Sanders, truth himself, on a personal level as well, is universal, as well as being in the divine's favor. The divine trusts his decision making and his process. But the People's Party, the people rise up and basically say, you know what, this just isn't working for us, this isn't good enough, so we're gonna do our own thing. Thank you. You're dismissed, you're excused. But the energy actually feels very beautiful. It doesn't feel like F you, it feels very beautiful, Just people embracing their power, personal power. We are all superheroes. That's what this energy feels like. We are all superheroes. People getting off the couch, putting on their cape, and that's what it feels like. It doesn't feel like F you. But again, God is a socialist, a democratic socialist. So anyway, every time I tune in to the other side and the U.S. political situation, I keep hearing a song by a group called AJR, and it's called Burn the House Down. And, I thought it was like just this party song, like, we're going to burn the house down, woo! We're partying so hard, it's like the house just crumbled, whatever. Things get out of control, I just thought it was a fun chorus. Well, the divine started playing that song for me again while I was channeling this video, and I'm like, all right, I'll check it out. So I read the lyrics, and I was like, wow, this is a political song. These lyrics fit perfectly. That's exactly what the band meant. The band was giving a political message. They meant for the song to be political. So I was like, wow, look at this band of channelers. Whatever, you guys, those song lyrics were so channeled. Welcome to the psychic community, AJR. By the way, thank you for creating this song, because you are also manifesting what you wrote, so bravo to you. I'm going to include links to the song lyrics and the music video in the description box for this video, so you can check it out. It's pretty cool. But yeah, the divine likes that song, so he's dedicating that song to the U.S. government right now. The divine's playing DJ. The divine's not happy with Donald Trump right now. He is praising, Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Putin, Kim Jong-un. So it's like the dark kind of holds hands and joins forces together, right? Until they don't. The dark is on the same team and they're on the same side, so it actually makes sense that Donald Trump is praising these leaders. But like I said, they get along until they don't, because they have ego. They're all driven by ego, so as soon as they step on one another's ego, it just goes to crap. So there's no honor among thieves. So the dark will get along as far as common goals are concerned, and then they kind of turn on each other, just so you know. So don't trust that either. And another thing I kind of wanted to bring up is I would understand if you guys wanted to criticize me for not addressing like every single issue as it comes up. It's because the divine is very big picture, and he's planning on replacing the entire system. So I could understand how you would feel that way, but the divine's plan is pretty big picture. So it's kind of like, well, it's going to be replaced anyway. So it's like you won the battle, but not the war kind of situation. So keep the faith, know that you're protected. Universal energies are getting more and more intense. I have to be honest with you. I feel the divine getting more and more annoyed with Donald Trump. I feel Donald Trump's karma getting worse and worse. I see literally like the divine sitting there like taking notes and just this like deadlock stare on Donald Trump. Just literally like staring at him, just watching him. And I see this hand being inserted between Donald Trump and the American people. Like the divine is stepping up to protect us from him. Donald Trump is working for the dark. He's manipulated by demonic entities right now because he's so ego-driven. It's very easy for negative entities to influence him. He basically has a red carpet going straight from the dark to his brain. He gave them the red carpet. So, yeah, by being ego-driven. So, yeah, that's why the divine has to step up to the plate and protect us. But the universal energies that are getting more intense around this are the divine basically saying, you know, I have your back, American people, I have your back, you know, U.S. government, I'm planning on replacing you, just so you know. I'm not happy with you guys at all. I know everything. I see everything. I know everything that's going on behind the scenes. I don't like it. Where's the truth? Where's the light? Where's the best interest of the people? I see you heading towards a tyrannical dictatorship with, you know, Donald Trump. The divine compares Donald Trump to Hitler a lot. The poison that he's injecting into the vein with regards to our economy, where he's shifting the money from the people to the elite. That power shift of money, it's like I have to weaken the people. I have to pull money away from them. I have to weaken them. Well, the divine's not going to let that happen, so your plan totally fails, just so you know. But yeah, I mean, you can see everything being like put into place for taking us over. Well, sorry, Donald Trump, that actually doesn't happen because we don't let it. We take matters into our own hands. We don't let it. Oh, actually, we take matters into our own hands with the divine holding our hand. So that's why. Sorry. We've got the big guy, also known as our creator, in our corner. So that's why it's so easy for us to take over. But musicians like AJR are certainly helping with their power manifestation. Thank you. I have made videos praising musicians previously and their manifestation powers, so bravo to anyone who's making political songs right now. Bravo to you. Especially, you know, I like the fact that, you know, he's in the video, he's like, you know, people wearing blindfolds and they're just like on this roller coaster, just being, you know, pushed forward. And it's like, do we bite our tongue? Do we speak up? Do we fight back? It's like, no, you don't bite your tongue. Yes, you speak back. Yes, you have power. Yes, it's worth it. And that's why the divine is saying, yes, get off the couch. Yes, speak your truth. Yes, you have the power. I'm giving you the power. Because of karmic balancing, we are owed karma. So our karma is out of balance with the U.S. government right now, which is why we're being placed in a position of power above it. So, yeah. So, anyway, sorry, just to reiterate the fact that we're not just a bunch of sheep and that we have our own minds and we can think for ourselves. It's not like the dark just like disappears. There will always be people who choose to align themselves with falsities, the dark, abuse of power, what have you. People still have free will. So the dark is never just going to completely disappear. The dark exists, right? But I'm just saying the light needs to be somewhere. There needs to be a choice. And in this case, the light does end up prevailing over the dark. But it's not like, you know, everybody all of a sudden jumps on board and it turns into mind control. That's not the situation at all. People choose. People have free will. They can choose what to believe and what to support. So I don't want you to think this negative, you know, sheepish socialism thing. It's more like, okay, we're all connected. Okay, how can we work together because we are stronger together? Kind of like that. But you can still disagree with that and choose something else. You're not being like controlled. You're not being bullied. It's like the divine is still allowing people to have free will in the process. So that's what's going on. Again, I just want to reiterate the energies are becoming more intense, man. I can feel the energies getting more intense. The divine's more protective of us. He's preserving human free will. He's also, getting more annoyed with Donald Trump and what he's doing, and how everything he's doing is just so strategic. The economy, the money, all of his decisions, the EPA, global warming, all of it is just one more step towards our demise, which is his ultimate goal. So that's why I call him Demon Don on Twitter, because that's Donald Trump's ultimate goal, is our demise. The demonic entities that are controlling him, that's their ultimate goal. So all of his steps make sense because they're in that general direction. So anyway, the truth is the light. I encourage you guys to speak yours and be brave, because we are all superheroes. And in the meantime, take care and be well. Thank you.